Hey, what's up, you guys? Esley Greer from Entertainment Fanatic Reviews, and I'm coming at you today with a review of a Halloween fan film, and that fan film happens to be Halloween: The Panhandle Massacre. So yeah, let's jump into my review of the fan film Halloween: The Panhandle Massacre. So, Halloween: The Panhandle Massacre is directed by a good friend of mine, Dean W. Thomas, and stars David Dietz, Adam Kaplinger, Christina Chikis, I probably mispronounced all those names, and Brian Saponis. I hope I at least got that one right. Before I get into the review, I want to state that I think it's just very awesome that this started out as a passion project between you and your son. If me and my dad done something like this, that would be awesome. So yeah, this film is about when a seemingly unstoppable mass murderer recently escaped from a nearby mental institute and comes to a small rural town along the remote Panhandle Trail. All hell comes with him. Aiding a maniacal detective's investigation into the mysterious murders is a doctor who wildly claims that the gruesome killings are, in fact, the handiwork of none other than legendary Michael Myers. He wanted to state that he didn't want me to butcher this film or, tear it apart, which I'm not going to tear it apart. I'm going to be fair, list my positives and negatives. Let's start with my negatives because I want to end this on a positive note, and I really want you guys to check this out. My first negative happens to be some actors brought me out of this film because they either they were acting a little bit over the top and some underacted. Like the person that was underdoing it for me was there's these two kids. One comes over, there's one with glasses and one without glasses, but the one without glasses just underacted. And when he's supposed to act like he's scared, he doesn't, and it sort of got on my nerves. But I mean, what can you do? This is your first film, and if I was his age, I would probably be doing the same thing. But I'm not gonna blame him completely for it. But still, it did bring me out of the film a little bit. And this actor who played the Shape, at times he did feel like the Shape, but at other times he didn't really feel like the Shape to me. He just felt like he was walking normally, and he did some things that the Shape wouldn't do. So, but he did an all right job. Like overall, he did an all right job. And like I said, with that kid that was underacting, when he was, like I said, when he's supposed to act like he's scared, he was trying to run away from Michael Myers when Michael Myers is inside of his house. And when he's at the top hiding with his babysitter's telling him to go, get the hell out. And he's just crawling out the window like, a regular kid would, if you're going outside to sneak or, sneak out or something. He just was so slow. I'm just like, dude, run. And my main negative with this film, and it's with a lot of people, is some of the music was a little too loud and I couldn't hear our character's dialogue. And I understand that, Dean, I know you're trying to do something different, but sometimes when you do things different, when you can't hear the person's dialogue, it sort of does annoy me a little bit. But I will go state in the positive about the music because some of the music is his own original music, so I'll get into that with my positives. Like some characters I could have done without as well, but that's pretty much it for my negatives. So moving on to my positives, this film is gorgeous and it is great. It has great cinematography, especially for a film that is shot on an iPhone 8 and also at times is shot on a GoPro Hero 5. Most of the film was an iPhone 8 and I thought that was so beautiful. This film was very beautiful. This actor doesn't really remind me of the Shape, but his appearance does. I love the way he looks. He looks badass. And to be honest, I actually like the messy hair. That's something we never really got to see because like his hair is all the way out here and over there and stuff. And I really liked it. I thought that was something different. And if that's what you're going for, Dean, then hell yeah, I liked it. The first kill in this is pretty cruel. It reminds me of in the first Halloween as well when he goes to the mechanic shop and there's a guy working on the car and he kills him, and so, Michael already escaped and he runs into the mechanic at the mechanic shop and, he's under a truck working on it. And when he rolls out, there he is. Michael kills him. I like the kill, but it's pretty much a blue ball kill because we don't actually see the whole thing happen. But it was still a good kill. It reminds me of some great kills in other films. I feel like mostly everyone got the job done with what they were supposed to do with the dialogue and acting. But some of the acting and dialogue was a bit meh. But other than that, they did a serviceable job. To be honest, no one really stood out, but I still think they did a fine job as a cast did really well, so that's good. The pool scene, oh my god, this is my favorite scene in this fan film when one of the kid's babysitter's friends is in the pool and she's thinking her boyfriend's there. And so she's like, "Well, I'll get away to get your attention." And she gets in the pool. She strips down to her underclothes, and you know, goes in the pool, does her thing, and then there's a great jump scare in this. Her boyfriend's body gets thrown into the pool, and then she's at the edge of the pool, and then Michael comes over there, drowns her, puts her head in the water, and drowns her. I thought that was cruel. That's one way I would definitely do not want to go. So great thinking on your part, Dean. Like I said earlier, some of the music was a bit too loud in the dialogue. And some of the music didn't fit in a Halloween film, but I will say some of the music does fit in a fan film. That's what I wanted to point out to Dean. I was like, well, some of this music doesn't fit in a Halloween film, but a fan film, yes. So, in original music, he did pretty good with most of the music. Some of the songs I didn't really care for, but there's a certain score towards the end when Heather's character, like I said earlier, with the kid and his babysitter is in one room and trying to run out. And so Heather makes it back in time, just in time to go upstairs and sees Michael there. And that score that plays when they both look at each other, I love that score. You got to send me a copy on Messenger or something, and I can make that my intro music. It was awesome if you wouldn't mind doing that. Actually, that was my favorite score. I loved it. Also, do like the story in this as well. It is sort of a recreation of the first, but it tells its own story with different characters, so I really like that. And rolling on to my last positive, I thought this was a negative the first time I watched this, but rewatching it, I'm like, you got to do something to please older fans. So there's a scene when the doctor comes in and saves the day, shoots Michael and everything, and Heather's there, and they're both sitting on the bottom of the stairs, and she asks, "Was that the boogeyman?" Just at first, it made me cringe, but I'm just like, well, you gotta please some fans, so I really liked that. That was pretty cool. So, with all that being said, I actually enjoyed this fan film, and I'm glad you reached out to me, buddy. Great fan film. Did pretty good. So, I will give Halloween the Panhandle Massacre a 7.75 out of 10. So, with all that being said, don't be scared. To like, comment, subscribe, and share, it'd be highly appreciated. And peace.